Welcome students, myself Ghazala Chavulkar. Today we are going to learn an interesting topic, that is chapter number 8, that is industries. In this module we are going to learn about industries and its different classification. Now generally industries refer to economic activities which are concerned with the production of goods and extraction of services. So students, let us discuss our learning objectives for today. So our learning objectives for today's module will be Introduction to Industrial System. As we all know, industry, that is, it is a group of productive enterprises or organizations that produce or supply goods, services or sources of income. In economic, industries are generally classified as primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary sectors. We are also going to see the different factors which are affecting the location of an industry. And also we are going to learn the classification of industries as per their nature. That is, it has been classified into 3 categories, that is small, medium and large industries. In figure 8.1, this is there in your textbook, page number 52. The sequence of 2 industrial process has been given. We need to arrange the pictures in proper sequence. So students, as you can see here we have 2 industries, that is sugar industry and cotton textile industry. Now both the industries are agro-based industries. Students, as you can see here, I have arranged the 2 industries. Like for sugar industries, I have accordingly arranged by giving numbers 1, 2 and 3. And for cotton textile industry, I have given A, B and C. Now the raw material required for sugar industries is sugarcane and sweet potato. The finished product will be jaggery and brown sugar. For cotton textile industry, the raw material will be raw cotton. The finished product will be cotton clothes. The process of converting the raw material into the finished product is done in the industries or factories. It is very much important or very much necessary to convert the raw material into finished product, because the finished product is useful, long lasting and has a special significance. So now let us understand what is an industrial system. An industrial system consists of inputs, process and outputs. The inputs are the raw materials, labor and cost of land, transport, power and other infrastructure. The process include a wide range of activities that convert the raw material into finished products. And the outputs are the end product and the income earned from it. So for example, in order to make a cotton shirt, that is the finished product, raw material or raw cotton is first transported to cotton textile mill. Then ginning and spinning of cotton balls is done. Finally, yarn is woven or knit into fabric. After the fabric is ready, it is transported to garment factories for final sewing and designing. Thus, the end product, that is the cotton shirt, is ready to use. Now students, let us see the important factors which affect the location of an industry. Now there are many important geographical factors which are involved in the location of industries. The first one is the raw material. Indeed, the location of industrial enterprises is determined simply by location of the raw materials. Modern industry is so complex that wide range of raw material is necessary for its growth. Next, power resources. Power. Regular supply of power is a prerequisite, and for the localization of industries, coal, mineral oil, and hydroelectricity are the three important conventional sources of power. Most of the industries tend to concentrate at the source of the power. Land. Land requirement for industrial development are of considerable significance. Land generally should be flat and well served by adequate transport facilities. Transport. Transport by land or water is necessary for the assembly of raw materials and for the marketing of the finished product. Labor. No one can deny that the prior existence of a labor force is attractive to industry unless there are strong reasons to the contrary. Labor supply is important in two respects. Workers in large numbers are often required. People with skill or technical expertise are always needed. Next, capital. Modern industries are capital intensive and require huge investments. Capitalists are available in urban centers. Big cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai are big industrial centers because the big capitalists live in these cities. Next, market. The entire process of manufacturing is useless until the finished goods reach the market. Nearness to the market is essential for quick disposal of manufactured goods. It helps in reducing the transport cost and enable the consumer to get things at a cheaper rates. Water. Water is another important requirement for industries. Many industries are established near rivers, canals, and lakes. Because of this reason, iron and steel industry, textile industry, and chemical industries require large quantities of water for their proper functioning. Now students, this picture is given in your textbook page number 52. In any given area, the development of industries is dependent on several factors such as the availability of raw material, water, labor, transport, capital, market, etc. Now, as per the availability of these factors, specific industries develop. Because of the unequal distribution of these factors, industrial development does not take place at the same pace at all places. Some regions are suitable for the development of industries, while in other regions only particular industries develop. Example, dense forest and desert areas are not conducive to industrial development. Now, taking into account above all the factors, I have given example for three industries, that is iron and steel, textile and sugar industry. Let us see all the three in detail. The first one is the iron and steel industry. Iron and steel industry is a mineral based industry. Therefore, it should be situated in the areas where minerals are easily accessible. Heavy and large raw materials are required for this industry. These raw materials should be easily transported to the industries and the finished product should be delivered to the market in a quick manner. Therefore, this industry should be situated near the main road and railway station. Now, iron and steel industry is a basic industry. The necessary factors for the iron and steel industry include abundant water supply, accessibility of communication facilities, availability of capital, availability of raw materials like iron ore, fuels, limestone and dolomite, silica or sand, etc. Convenient transport facilities. easy access to market, regular electric supply, and supply of cheap skilled labor. The next one is the textile industry. Now, textile industries is an agro-based industries. A textile is a material made of thin fibers and that are spun into yarn and woven into fabric. It is important that this industry should be situated near the source of raw material. The necessary factors for the textile industry include availability of capital, availability of raw materials like natural sources, synthetic or man-made sources like dyes, chemicals, clothing material such as jute, cotton, wool, etc., convenient transport facilities, easy access to market, regular electric supply, suitable favorable climate, and supply of cheap skilled labor. The next one is the sugar industry. Sugar industry is an agro-based industry. The raw materials like sugar cane or sugar beet are perishable. Students, what is sugar beet? Sugar beet is a plant whose root contains a high concentration of sucrose and which is grown commercially for sugar production. So it is important that this industry should be located near the farms of sugarcane or sugar beet. Sugar is produced from sugarcane. The important necessary factors for sugar industries include abundant water supply, availability of raw materials like juices of sugarcane and sugar beet, convenient transport facilities, and supply of cheap skilled labor. Now students, give it a try. This is from your textbook, page number 53. Study the factors given below and state which industries could develop in this region. The first one is the excellent transport facilities, skilled labor, and uninterrupted supply of electricity. Now, textile industries can be developed well in these areas where the factors such as excellent transport facilities, skilled labor, and uninterrupted supply of electricity are available. The next one is the limestone deposits, cheap labor, uninterrupted supply of water and electricity, increasing urbanization. For this, iron and steel industry can be developed in these areas where the factors like limestone deposits, cheap labor, uninterrupted supply of water and electricity are increasing and urbanizations are available. Next, fruit orchards, labor, excellent transportation facilities, unlimited water supply, uninterrupted electricity and ready market. Agro-based industries can be developed well in this area where all these factors such as fruit orchards, labor, excellent transportation facilities, unlimited water supply, uninterrupted electricity and ready markets are available. This figure 8.2 is in your textbook page number 53. The given figure shows the localization of iron and steel industry, Jamshedpur. We also have your index which tells you the different minerals, that is iron ore, manganese, limestone, coal have been highlighted and given the different symbols. Now, the given image is of Jamshedpur iron and steel industry. The raw material is required for this industry, that is iron and steel industry, is iron ore, manganese, limestone and coal. So when you observe the image, you will realize that for the localization of iron and steel industry, the most important factors are the raw material and energy, and both of which are available around the Jamshedpur. The raw material is obtained from nearby areas, that is Guru Mahisar, Kulaisela and Jharia. These raw materials is heavy and bulky and therefore it becomes uneconomical to transport it to a factory far away. Hence, it is favorable to establish this industry in the area where the raw material is available. So, this is the reason for the establishment of iron and steel industry at Jamshedpur. Now, identify the industries shown in the picture and state suitable location for these industries. As you can see here, students, we have three images. The first one is information and technology, second is fish processing industry, and the third one is dairy industry. Now all the three pictures above are related to the concept of industries, but the nature of their work is different. In these industries, raw material, labor force, capital, land, etc. are all essential factors. As per the nature of their work, industries can be classified. So, classification of industries as per their nature. Now, as per their nature, industries is classified into three categories, that is small scale industry, medium scale industry, large or heavy industry. Now let us see all of these in detail. Small scale industry. Now small scale industries are those industries in which manufacturing, providing services, productions are done on a very small scale or micro scale. Essentially, small scale industries comprise of small enterprises whose manufacture goods or services with the help of relatively smaller machines and a few workers and employees. Small scale industries play an important role in social and economic development of India. For example, these are the ideas of small scale industries like napkins, tissues, chocolate making, toothpick making, water bottles, small toys, papers, pens, agarbatti making, basket making, different types of earthenware. All these are examples of small scale industries. The next one is the medium scale industry. Medium scale industry neither runs its operation at such tiny levels as a small scale industry nor at such a huge level as a large scale industry. In fact, most of the medium scale manufacturing business were basically small scale businesses that have flourished with time and turned into medium scale business. The category of medium scale enterprises is made up of enterprise which employ fewer than 250 persons. These enterprises emerge from the slow and steady growth of successful of small businesses. As a company earns more revenue, it start keeping aside the capital required for building, equipments and recruitment of more employees. This eventually creates a bridge between small businesses and big corporation. Here are some of the basic examples of medium scale industry, that is aluminium door and window manufacturing, ceramic glazed tiles production, making of paper bags, manufacture of furnitures, LED lights, leather product manufacturing, talcum powder production, etc. The next one is the large or heavy industries. Now, industries which require huge infrastructure and manpower with an influx of capital assets are large scale industries. Large scale industries uses heavy machinery which is given by power. It requires a wide variety of raw materials, large scale investment and workforce to manufacture the final products. The Indian economy relies heavily on such industries for economic growth, generation of foreign currency, and the creation of job opportunities for millions of people. All the heavy industries of India like iron and steel industry, textile industry, automobile manufacturing industry fall under the large scale industrial area. So students, let us have a quick recap of what we have learned today. We learned about the industry. So it is a group of productive enterprises or organizations that produce or supply goods, services or sources of income. We also studied about industrial system. So an industrial system consists of inputs, process and outputs. Now inputs are the raw material, labor, cost of land, transport, power and other infrastructure. The process include wide range of activities that convert the raw material into finished product. And the output are the end product and the income earned from it. So as per the availability of such factors, specific industries develop. We also learned about the different factors affecting the location of an industry. So there are many geographical factors which are involved in the location of industries. That is, it includes raw material, power supply, land, transport, labor, capital, market. So all the factors are very much important for the development of an industry. Because of the unequal distribution of these factors, industrial development does not take place at the same pace at all places. Some regions are suitable for the development of industries, while in other regions only particular industries develop. We also studied that industries are classified on the basis of their nature. So on the basis of the nature, industries are classified into three categories, that is small scale industry, medium scale industry and large scale industries. So small scale industries are those industries which manufacturing, providing services, productions are done on a very small scale level or micro level. For example, napkin making, basket making, earthen pot making, water bottles, toys, paper, etc. are few examples of small scale industries. Medium scale industries are those industries or those manufacturing business which were basically small scale businesses that have flourished with time and turned into medium scale business. It includes examples of medium scale industries are aluminium door and window manufacturing, furniture making, LED light manufacture, leather product manufacturing, making of paper bags, etc. A few examples of medium scale industries. And the last one is the large or heavy industries. These industries require huge infrastructure and manpower with an influx of capital. All the heavy industries of India like iron and steel industry, textile industry, automobile manufacturing industry fall under the large scale industry. Thank you students for listening and watching my video. I hope that you like my video. Thank you very much.